but if it was hard to hear, the video that I couldn't get to play in my earlier talk, since these are doing this multiple double talk in French, Italian, Japanese, I did play it before, so you can get some sense of what that is like, sort of ties in. So, I mean, I was asked, to do this poetry reading near Mrs. the name of my most recent book at this conference on aesthetics. So I've tried to make each poem that I picked, speak to the topic of aesthetics. And the first is called The Lie of Art. I don't want innovative art. I don't want experimental art. I don't want conceptual art. I don't want abstract art. I don't want figurative art. I don't want original art. I don't want formal art. I don't want emotional art. I don't want nostalgic art. I don't want sentimental art. I don't want complacent art. I don't want erotic art. I don't want boring art. I don't want mediocre art. I don't want political art. I don't want empty art. I don't want Baroque art. I don't want mannered art. I don't want minimal art. I don't want plain art. I don't want vernacular art. I don't want artificial art. I don't want pretentious art. I don't want idea art. I don't want thing art. I don't want naturalistic art. I don't want rhetorical art. I don't want dull art. I don't want rhapsodic art. I don't want rigid art. I don't want informal art. I don't want celebratory art. I don't want cerebral art. I don't want formulaic art. I don't want sardonic art. I don't want sadistic art. I don't want masochistic art. I don't want trendy art. I don't want adolescent art. I don't want senescent art. I don't want grumpy art. I don't want happy art. I don't want severe art. I don't want demanding art. I don't want intempestuous art. I don't want incendiary art. I don't want commercial art. I don't want moralizing art. I don't want transgressive art. I don't want violent art. I don't want exemplary art. I don't want uplifting art. I don't want degrading art. I don't want melancholy art. I don't want chaotic art. I don't want provocative art. I don't want self-satisfied art. I don't want nurturing art. I don't want genuine art. I don't want derivative art. I don't want religious art. I don't want authentic art. I don't want sincere art. I don't want sacred art. I don't want profane art. I don't want mystical art. I don't want voyeuristic art. I don't want traditional art. I don't want expectable art. I don't want hopeful art. I don't want irreverent art. I don't want process art. I don't want static art. I don't want urban art. I don't want pure art. I don't want ideological art. I don't want spontaneous art. I don't want pious art. I don't want comprehensible art. I don't want enigmatic art. I don't want epic art. I don't want lyric art. I don't want familiar art. I don't want alien art. I don't want human art. So a big topic in literary studies these days is affect theory, A-F-F-E-C-T. So I've written a poem called Affect Theory. Sorry to be so sorry. Sad to be so sad. Distraught at my distress. Melancholic on account of my melancholy. Depressed to be depressed. Anxious about my anxiety. Happy to be happy. Glad to be glad. Disappointed by disappointment. Amused to be amused. Angry about anger. Indifferent to indifference. Despairing about despair. Lost in my loss. Buzzed to be buzzed. Dumbfounded to be dumbfounded. Hurt by my hurt. Wounded by the wound. Humiliated by the humiliation. Paranoid about paranoia. Miffed to be miffed. Abject in objectification. Unlucky to be unlucky. Desiring desire. Blankly blank. Ashamed to be ashamed. Ignorant of my ignorance. Guilty, feeling guilty. Paralyzed by my paralysis. Embarrassed by my embarrassment. Silenced by my silence. Enabled by my immobility. Agitated by my agitation. Okay being okay. Mystified to be confused. Inconsolable about being inconsolable. Frightened by my fearfulness. Encouraged by my timidity. If any of you have those problems, you can see me at the midnight session tonight. We'll be in the central town square offering advice. And this one, also on the same theme of aesthetics, is called The Theory of Pottery. The Theory of Pottery. I believe this is the only reference to the theory of pottery at the conference. You bought it. You bake it. Never forgive a sucker on a break. To receive is to be easily burned. Once smitten, argue for, slide. Invictus today, toadied anon. There's less to appearance than it seems. Elude elision, and the swamp will suck the bejesus even from a rock. Better to overpay than buy a lemon. Better to buy a lemon than get squeezed. Better squeezed than hung out to dry. Better hung out to dry than be buried alive. Fancy is at the root of illusion and the soul of truth. A kick in the ass will never abolish asses. Theory of pottery. This one is very short, just one line, and it's a unified theory of poetry. Unified theory of poetry. I don't think so. Short. And this one is called Turn Off Your Poetry Blocker. And this is also just a reminder of those in the room that during the course of my reading, and perhaps the whole group, you turn those poetry blockers off. Just click and say, oh, you know. There is, turn off your poetry blocker. This is an initial alert. Aesthetic action will be taken if there is no response. This one is called Ars Impotens. For those who don't know Latin, it means art is impotent. Ars Impotens. It gives it a little bit more of an elevated quality when you have a Latin title like that. Poetry is made not of ideas but of words. Poetry is made not of ideas but of Poetry is made not of ideas but words. Poetry is made not of ideas but of words. Of words, poetry is made of, not ideas. Words is what poetry is made of, not ideas. Not of ideas, poetry is made of. Words is made of words, poetry, not ideas. Made not of ideas but words, poetry. And this very short poem is called Beyond Compare. No moment like this, even this. So this poem is called Anesthetics. Anesthetics. And it's adapted from the Patriarchal Imagination, which is the last essay in Pitch of Poetry, so that I've made it into a poem. The turn away from beauty or emotion, like the aversion of identity or expression, may be both a response to the shallowness of what is accepted as beautiful or emotional, and a mark of the search for beauty or affect, a beauty or affect not already trapped and tamed. For if you say what I find beautiful is worthless, then I may say I reject beauty. But that is just a measure of my recognition of how categories of the beautiful anesthetize you from the experience of beauty. For some, it is only in renouncing the beautiful that the possibility of beauty opens. And those of you who lament this turn away from beauty or emotion, compulsively proclaiming, right on the other side. Interesting. Wow, love that. And those of you who lament this turn away from beauty or emotion, compulsively proclaiming its return, do not, perhaps cannot understand what it is to be outside the script, dead as you are to sensation, oblivious to beauties that cannot be dreamt of in your moralities. And this poem is from near this. It's called In Utopia. In Utopia, they don't got no rules. And Prime Minister Cameron's criminality pure and simple. I might as well give the context to this academic occasion. Cameron was a couple of premiers ago, also conservative premiers, and there were people who didn't strike him as being the WASP stock that he so much valued. You know, remarks similar to what President Trump does, just spoke of their protests, their rioting as criminality pure and simple. It was much decried the way of sending them back is this week in America. So this is called In Utopia. In Utopia, they don't got no rules. And Prime Minister Cameron's criminality pure and simple is reserved for politicians just like him. In Utopia, the monkey lies down with the rhinoceros and the ghosts haunt the ghosts, leaving everyone else to fends for themselves. In Utopia, you lose the battles and you lose the wars, but it bothers you less. In Utopia, no one tells nobody nothing, but I gotta tell you this. In Utopia, the plans are ornament and expectations dissolve into whim. In Utopia, here is a pivot. In Utopia, love goes for the ride, but Eros is at the wheel. In Utopia, words sing the songs while the singers listen. In Utopia, 1 + 2 does not equal 2 + 1. In Utopia, I and you is not the same as you and me. In Utopia, we won't occupy Wall Street. We are Wall Street. In Utopia, all that is solid congeals. All that melts liquefies. All that is air vanishes into the late afternoon fog. This poem, also from near miss, is called Clang. It's after and for Peter Waterhouse. It extends my talk about, as both poems that we did, to homophonic translation. So I sample aspects of one of Peter Waterhouse's German texts. So the German comes in, I make stuff that sounds like it, and I improvise around it. Clang. The sirens, the estuaries, ending below the receding light, under the streets, a foreboding scent. The words were haunted in the interior. The chirping of birds was like a screech on a blackboard, and then the tolling of the dead before the race began. Zebras, orangutans, warlords, ravens, all on display, ghosts affecting in the mind. Raw thought handled with cashmere gloves. You pulled back and turned your face, shuddering. Blame evaporated in the eyes of the watchers, drafted in deft bouquets fashioned as undershirts. Each clock dissolved. On rare occasions, the child said to his child, "Tell me without words so that I can awaken." But the ignorance was of a form of wakening. No things are the same. The trees along the boulevard are each alien to the other, and every stone is foreign. Once its hardness settles, man cons all between gulps of lassitude, when harrowing won't give. Crosshairs, ironical, lashed, muzzle, hovering, sweaty, sealed, corpse actor adrift, beginning with dung and redone. The tempo, disgarbled by Prozac, is with sin, Gomorrah and Hawthorne, begrieved brickwriter. Here Isser the Defrunda, Aaron I. Arctic, Hekechi, Shrahandi, Woody, Freshek, Frushik, Indish, Shanish, Melamak, Ramamesh, pure Singapore, the fragmented kin, where is not dims where, not, hic is niche in this world, hic is the wall, here in the little giblets, a kind of kitchen, kind of hotels, kind of sneeze, kind of source, given Nestroy strives to be Hugo von Hofmannsthal, King of Vienna, Berlin, Peter the Great, Nordic wine tasting, that kind of thing. Here blooms a blooming clan. The stay is nothing, the kin is nothing. Ding over the world, over America, a widget found in bed with a Dummkopf. Kansas City, St. Paul, Yellowknife, buzz saws with iron pallets. Jimmy cracks and I could care less. Act 1, shh, not, quicksand, quiche, kettle, caplock, Miami, born, schlemiel, wham, earth, wretch, whirl, barf, brr, sauce, bomb, maul, bah, crash, roar, act, shineware, ouch, brr, cliff, boo, amp, sewer, rap, Rubcons, a speech by Walt Disney, the Knicks, off, oi, zap, ah, knish, Donald Duck. Had enough? What kind of duck? Austria, Berlin, hen coop, free range, autopoiesis. Stop it! You know the score. I've been agglutinated, the whole identity spiel, deschooling, no fooling. But remember to put your thinking cap on and also to take it off when it gets too hot or when you need to hide. The kind that's kind, a kind, in kind. For the love of Mike, for Pete's sake, I just want to get the jump back in my junk. Now tell me again with different words. And so the last poem that I'm going to read is called Johnny K. College, a very short poem in a made-up language. So quolen swapt und mir flucht, Sardoon to fleegrant swarm, or Jeremy plate, or Garvey swake, it given durs clerk, shep booty blur, de daisy duel, dum froopy giggles glide, shub krylo fame, jet jimsies crack, ens erdobel fump glire, eb hure blut, eb ure sweet, neb nist, neb ot, neb wan, schlep atsum imba outsi birthed, a lappy merp ab ords, ein Ainsley swish, ein Ainsley sploop, a gall step dulster flug, ik ars und nimbit trul begrub, begrub ik ubers quake, ag blur,